Welcome to the Uplift, the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes. We start with an 11-year-old boy on a mission to surf every day, no matter what, for a good reason. And a TikToker who is using his platform for good and surprising people all over Los Angeles. Plus a bride who wore a special wedding dress for her groom, who is blind. And moms across America are letting off some steam during a tough pandemic. All of that, plus our most heartwarming videos of the week. You're watching The Uplift. Hi there, welcome to The Uplift. I'm Nate Burleson. We have a great show for you today. We start in New Jersey, where you might not think you can surf all year round, but one 11-year-old boy is. No matter how cold it gets, he's catching waves for a good cause. Meg Oliver has the story.
Despite freezing temperatures, 11-year-old Carter Doorley is on a mission.
How many days in a row did you want to surf?
100.
And then after 100, it turned into?
150, 200.
More than 600 days later.
You don't care that it's freezing cold?
Not a nor'easter, even a blizzard has stopped him from trying to surf 1,000 days straight off the Jersey shore.
If you look at Atlantic City, a lot of people have lost their job and were put on the streets, so I'm going to try to help them and give back. It's Giving Tuesday.
Carter is giving back with every wave he catches.
I was going to surf $1 for every wave, so I thought I was going to make 30, around 50. I ended up making around $300.
$300?
Which surprised me a lot.
That was the beginning. Since then, Carter has donated thousands of dollars to local shelters and global nonprofits like Surf Aid, which helps supply clean drinking water to remote areas of the world.
Made me feel awesome.
Now he is asking for random acts of kindness.
It'll show that there's very good people in the world still helping and giving back to their community too.
As my surfer buddies say, that is totally tubular, catching waves and giving back at the same time. Now, if you're walking around Los Angeles, you may get stopped by a man holding up his phone or maybe some flowers or maybe money. His name is Isaiah Garza, and he spends his time giving to others and spreading positivity on social media. Caitlin O'Kane has more.
I forgot my wallet today, and I literally just want to buy this Lunchable. Would you buy it for me? Really? I have to tell you something.
What's that?
All your groceries are free today. We're buying all your groceries.
You're lying.
Isaiah Garza talks to strangers, a lot of them. Sometimes he pays for their groceries by first asking if they can pay for his.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Other times he gives people clothes or food, or just stops them on the street to give them a compliment and a flower.
Excuse me, I just wanted to say that I love your hat. I wanted to give you these flowers.
Isaiah is a YouTuber and TikToker who uses social media for good.
When the pandemic hit, there were so many families going through such hard times, people around the world going through, so much depression and pain and suffering. And I was like, this needs to be the time where the world sees the most beautiful, inspirational things on the internet, because people were always on their phone while they were at home during the pandemic. So I was like, I want to put out content that really helps people and motivates them and feels like there's hope outside of all this.
Followers may wonder how Isaiah can afford to buy other people meals or cover their groceries.
I'll buy it for you. Really? I have to tell you something. I want to pay for all your Thanksgiving groceries right now.
May I hug you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He says the money he makes as a creator goes back into his videos and the people he helps. He even helped one family raise $45,000 after his video with them went viral.
My content is focused on now, mostly just fundraising for people in need. And, if you can go out there and help someone in your community, you could really save a life.
This creator is proving the power of social media is strong, if the power of kindness is there too.
Thank you. Wow. Wow.
Being kind goes a long way. Just like Isaiah, I say we all do something kind this week for somebody else. It'll do something for them, but more importantly, make us all feel good. Okay, Dorothy Trade is 99 years old, and she had never made a snow angel before. So when it recently snowed in her town of Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, she seized the opportunity. Her son Tom helped her find the snowsuit that she actually wore when she was a teen, and then they went outside to play. Tom posted the video of her mother making this snow angel, and it went viral. He said, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and when you fall in the snow, you make snow angels. This Women's History Month, we are shining a spotlight on women who are bettering their own communities. Like Philadelphia police officer Vanessa Washington, who has built lasting relationships with people in her city and found a special way to keep those bonds during the pandemic. CBS Philly's Natasha Brown has more.
I'm grateful for it because I can actually thrive in it and build on it.
Officer Vanessa Washington has certainly thrived in her position as the Community Relations Officer at the 19th Police District. She transitioned into the role after spending 9 years in patrol.
Our main goal is to bridge the gap between police and community. Depending on what's going on in the world, that can sometimes be hard.
Officer Washington's vivacious and bubbly personality has allowed her to form lasting relationships with the community.
I love it. I do. I really love it because I'm timid, but then I open up. And when I open up, amazing things happen.
She had no idea that amazing things would come out of the onset of a life-altering pandemic.
I was struggling with trying to find a way to stay connected with the children in a socially distanced way. So I started a YouTube channel called Officer Washington's Storytime. Hi, friends. On that, I would read different children's books. And I felt myself, I'm always reading everybody else's books. Why not write my own? So I got to writing.
And the Officer Washington series was born.
Today is Officer Washington's first day of work as a police officer. She's very excited, but she's also a little nervous.
The children's books teach valuable lessons
about staying encouraged. I have a book that's going to come out called Officer Washington and the Not So Big Bully. This is a little free library.
Police officer, now author Vanessa Washington has always brought her creative nature to the police district, exposing kids in the community to free books.
So this is the Cotton Club.
And Black history exhibits, demystifying the often strained and frightening image children have of police. The 19th Police District here in West Philadelphia sits in one of the most crime-ridden areas in Philadelphia. Yet Officer Washington continues to maintain a great relationship with the community and lots of positivity.
We got to bridge those gaps. Sometimes children are told negative things about police, or we get a lot of parents sometimes, they say, you better be good, I'm going to take you to the police station, or I'm calling the cops, and that scares them.
She aims to bridge those gaps, one book, one life lesson, one message at a time.
Don't fear me. Don't hate me. I'm here for you, and I want to be your friend, and I want to help you.
Police officers like Vanessa Washington, they're teachers, preachers, protectors, among other things. I know we like to say, not all heroes wear capes. I know. They wear uniforms. Thank you for what you do, Vanessa. So police dogs in Sacramento will be a little bit safer thanks to a 12-year-old who was inspired to help after hearing about an injured canine on the force. CBS Sacramento's Adrian Moore has the story.
Ranger patrolling the streets of Sacramento, sporting an extra layer of safety these days. The 2-year-old canine officer now outfitted with top-of-the-line bulletproof body armor.
They're incredibly important. I mean, they're a vital piece of life-saving equipment for the dogs, just like the vest that we wear.
The ballistic vest is 5 times stronger than steel and protects the police dog's vital organs.
It just snaps in right here on the side. And that's it.
The upgrade, bringing an added sense of security to his human handler.
He has my back, I have his. I do anything for him, and he would do anything for me, as he did that night.
The night he's talking about was back in November when Ranger was stabbed by a suspect he was trying to apprehend in Tahoe Park.
When I had realized the critical nature of his injury, it was definitely one of the most terrible things that I've experienced.
That experience captured headlines and the attention of 12-year-old Brady Snikovsky in Ohio. He's the founder of Brady's Canine Fund, a nonprofit providing ballistic vests to police dogs across the country. The idea came to him after seeing a police dog on TV that wasn't wearing a protective vest like his partner.
Just coming to work every day with him is the best thing in the world.
New gear to protect those who protect us and make sure they come home at the end of their shift.
Brady's Canine Fund, taking care of the police dogs who protect the police officers. All right, now take a look at this. 17-month-old Lachlan Samples was born with what his mom calls normal hair. But around 6 to 9 months, his locks transformed. His mom soon learned about uncombable hair syndrome. Now, this is a real but rare condition that gives you unruly hair, and it is oftentimes called spun glass hair. His mom said they like to share Lachlan's luscious locks on social media to spread awareness and joy, because the internet can be heavy, but her son's wild hair is one reason to smile. Now we want to take you to Poland, where about 1 million Ukrainians have arrived to seek refuge after fleeing their war-torn country. In the midst of darkness, there are moments of light. Like these strollers left by Polish mothers for women arriving from Ukraine without a way to carry their babies. Or this piano man, David Martello, who traveled from Germany with his instrument on wheels to bring some joy to Ukrainians arriving at the Polish border. And our own Tony DeCopo is in Poland, where he spoke to people who traveled with almost nothing. But in a box of donation, one mother found her son a new toy, a little yellow bus. These are some moments of humanity during a humanitarian crisis. Coming up, a bride made sure she wore a wedding dress for her groom he could feel. And a group of moms are getting together for some unique therapy screaming. Plus, our most heartwarming videos of the week. Stick around. You are watching The Uplift. Like most grooms, Anthony Ferraro had no clue what his fiancée was planning for her wedding dress. But when she walked down the aisle, he was shocked by the custom dress and the kind gesture that she had created specifically for him. Caitlin O'Kane has more on the special meaning behind the wedding dress.
When Kellyanne first met her husband Anthony through mutual friends, she knew he was blind, but soon learned there was much more to him. Before their first date, she wanted to do something special for him, so she got a new dress, one that he could feel.
She's like, well, he can't see me, so like, I gotta wear something like that feels nice. And no one's ever thought to do that, like ever.
Anthony, who competes in wrestling and judo, travels a lot, and Kelly began going with him.
My whole life changed when I met Kelly. I remember just not being able to like see anything when I travel, you know. She would describe these landscapes to me like visually, where it would paint these pictures in my head, and she literally became my eyes for the world.
This year, the couple got married, and Kelly wanted to do something special for Anthony again. So she got a custom wedding dress, one with many textures so he could see by feeling. Anthony was shocked when his bride met him at the altar.
When I got to the aisle and we were finally...
She's like, I'm here, feel my dress.
I was like, feel it. I like showed him like right before everything started. I just like showed him like really excited.
My mind was blown. I like started crying, and it was just like, I was able to see Kelly. Like that was the best part. I was able to feel her dress. When I was feeling the dress, it was just creating this image of like an angel in my brain, and it was just so beautiful.
Kelly goes above and beyond for her love, and it can serve as a lesson of acceptance for others.
To put yourself in other people's shoes, I think really helped, but understanding everyone in life is different, and like going that extra, step to just think about that other person and like kind of put yourself in their experiences.
This gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, I got a feeling. Absolutely incredible wedding dress. And congratulations. Coming up, how a group of moms gather to let out their pent-out emotions. Everyone has felt that Monday dread, That feeling at the beginning of the new work week? Well, 4-year-old Landry in Kansas was on his way to the school bus when he was overcome with a bad case of the Mondays. Landry's mom, Missy, shared this video of him sprawled out on his driveway and praised the bus assistant who came to the rescue. Missy said when Landry gets tired, he can be a bit grumpy and overdramatic. And while adults might not have this exact reaction on Mondays, it's very relatable. Hey, Landry, we get it. Everything's gonna be all right. Just wake up on Tuesday with a smile. This next dad got into a little hot water with his toddler. He won a race, which parents with toddlers might guess did not go over well.
I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich.
Why?
Because you're not listening, and I will get you a knuckle sandwich right now, or you're not gonna listen. Go ahead and listen to my words, and you can race tomorrow.
We can race tomorrow, but if I beat you again, you're gonna give me a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just couldn't.
2-year-old Callie poses a big threat with that knuckle sandwich. If I were dad, I'd let her win the race next time. That's for sure. And this is coming from a girl dad. 102-year-old Zawang is known to be Thailand's oldest sprinter. He just ran in a race at the 26th Thailand Master Athletes Championship Games and finished the 100-meter run in 28.7 seconds, setting a new world record. He had more gold medals than any other athlete at the Senior Games this year. And he said he likes to compete in the sporting event because he makes friends. And by the way, his coach is his 70-year-old daughter. Okay, aging like fine wine. I see you, Zawang. Coming up, screaming for self-care. How moms across the U.S. are venting out their frustrations. Many parents have felt heightened stress during the pandemic, but a group of moms found a unique way to release their pent-up emotions, screaming it all out. Meg Oliver has the story.
Hi, nice to meet you.
On a bitter cold Sunday morning, just outside New York City, a group of women, all moms, many strangers, gathered for their very first group scream. Jessica Klein organized a mom's screaming event in her community, an opportunity for parents to come together to vent. 2 years of a pandemic burdened with the stresses of childcare, school disruptions, and new variants have left many parents drained. Jessica says over the last 2 years, she's often felt overwhelmed and isolated. When the pandemic started, she had 3 under 6.
My house felt narrow. I felt like the walls were caving in on me, and I just felt like there was no place to go.
And you had a 6-month-old on your hip.
I had a 6-month-old on my hip. I had a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old who was in kindergarten. So nobody was in school, and keeping them entertained throughout the day and while changing diapers and nursing was insane.
Nearly 40% of moms responding to a recent survey reported they are experiencing a negative impact on their physical and mental health. And many working moms said it's difficult to balance their children and jobs. Around half had to leave or downshift their careers during the pandemic. As the women gathered on this day, pent-up emotions poured out.
I feel really guilty, and I don't know the right thing to do a lot of the time. I just work and my daughter. I have no time for me. I am grateful for this opportunity, but even though it is a very unique opportunity, it doesn't take away from how lonely it could be.
Damn, I feel like I work so hard all the time and I'm not getting anywhere.
Finally, the time had come to let it out.
3, 2, 1.
I joined in for round 2.
Do you need to do it again? I do.
After you let out the first scream, how did it feel?
It was just such a sense of relief, and also to be away from my kids for a little while. I love them dearly, and I want them to know that. But it is nice to just be able to go and be in a community of moms.
It's safe, it offers relief, and now these very tired and very overwhelmed parents
know they're not alone.
Psychologist Lisa D'Amour is a CBS News contributor. She says these screaming events can be a healthy way to express and release emotion.
February is always a hard time of year in family life. It's the armpit of the school year. Under normal conditions, this is a hard time of year. These conditions plus 2 years of a pandemic is extraordinarily difficult.
Jessica hopes this is just the beginning of mom gatherings in her community.
What are you hoping these moms walked away with today?
I hope that moms walked away with a sense of self-care, even if it's just for a little bit, and a positive memory that they can bring with them after this entire chaos.
J-Mo, come here.
You remember the song, Scream, Shout, Let It All Out. That's our show. I hope this news brightened up your day and lifted you up. Thanks for watching The Uplift.